My duties are to my family. But I am loyal only to myself.
Rogue Legacy, the Elli tab.
Treason! An assassin has wounded my father, the king. To bring order back to the kingdom, he has sent my siblings and I on a quest to save him. Together, we will venture into the Cursed Woods and enter Castle Hamson. This cursed castle has stood on the edge of the woods since time immemorial, but rumors say that within it dwells an item which will cure any ailment. Tonight, I will get a head start over my brothers and sisters and set forth on my quest while they lay asleep. To fail this quest would be an embarrassment to my name. Although I am the eldest child, I am not my father's favorite. I have always known he planned to leave me with nothing. But if I find the cure, everything will change. The victor will earn nothing less than the throne upon his passing. Upon my ascension, my wife and children shall move back into the royal quarters, back to the royal city, where we once again will be treated with the respect we deserve. No longer will we stand for the gossip and petty slander of my cousins. The other dukes shall bow as we pass. But I am getting ahead of myself. I must keep my priorities clear. Conquer the castle, find the cure, and collect my reward. I have paid my dues and entered the castle proper. That devil Charon has taken all that I own as payment. He has even pilfered my private coffers. I have left my wife and children with nothing. He says it's the price for any and all who hazard the depths of the castle. He says it is fair. It is fair because of all who have entered, none have returned. But I will change that. I will be victorious. There is no greater swordsman than I, even amongst my siblings. Everything about this castle is off. I can't seem to keep track of my headings, and there is no sun or stars to guide me. I find myself backtracking constantly, and I must painstakingly map out my progress, lest I go in circles. The maps I have pilfered off of the corpses of other adventurers are breathtakingly inaccurate. It is almost as if they were describing a different castle altogether. Perhaps this place does something to the mind. Or are these stones truly shifting beneath my feet? I cannot exit through the front gate, but that is of little concern. I am committed to my cause and I will not back out. So far, none of the maps I've found coincide with my own. Yet upon comparing them as a whole, I believe I have unearthed a slight pattern. It seems the forest is always to the right, the tower above, and below, well, hopefully I won't have to find out. I have never liked the dark. I prefer to meet my enemies in an open field in plain sight. But now I find myself braving these darkened gallows with one gauntlet outstretched and the other by my hilt. I can never tell what horror lies beyond each corner. I am the greatest swordsman in all the lands, yet even I am having trouble keeping these demons at bay. My siblings should be grateful that I rushed ahead of them. For them, it was a blessing in disguise. They would not have the fortitude to survive these halls. It is still night. Past every window stares back the same melancholic moon. But I swear I have been here for at least a whole waking day. It must be the adrenaline. I have never felt so powerful, yet simultaneously challenged. It is exhilarating to charge through these rooms, cutting down enemy after enemy. In some ways, the foes of this castle feel tailored to me, training me, guiding me, watching me. This may sound crazy, but if the castle can somehow sense those within it, I fear it may hold malicious intent as well. If my assumptions are correct, the design of these halls could all be a ploy, cooling me down further into a trap. I must stay alert. From the number of dead adventurers I have passed in these halls, I've come to the following conclusions. 1. Many did not take enough provisions with them. I assume many died of hunger. I myself am running low and will have to find more supplies. 2. Many are missing clothes, which explains the pant-wearing zombies. And 3. No one has made it as far as I, since I haven't passed any corpses in over an hour. The door to the throne room is driving me mad. Beyond it lies the king's salvation and my reward. But it stands silent in the middle of the castle foyer, taunting me. I have tried pushing it, kicking it, yelling "Open Sesame!" but nothing works. There are icons emblazoned into the doors, and one of them looks like a beast I avoided deeper in the castle. Perhaps there is some sort of correlation? The emblems on the castle door are a clue. I slew the giant beast that matched one of the icons, and I sensed something shift behind the throne room doors. As if in a dream, I could see the emblem on the door glowing in my mind's eye. A truly out-of-body experience. At least I know I'm on the right track, but I must hasten my pace, for the king could succumb to his injuries at any moment. But at first, I must rest. Tomorrow, I enter the forest. The forest is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It is both serene and terrifying. I stand on lush grass, but beside me yawns open a chasm so wide and deep, it threatens to swallow me whole. I still have not heard a response from the rock I tossed in earlier. A single misstep and my descent would be eternal. It is truly a horrifying thought. An eternity of darkness is more frightening than any beast I have fought thus far. If I fell, what would kill me first? The hunger? Or myself? On a side note, I am now using this forest fissure as my own personal laboratory. I wonder if I am pooping into another dimension. I have found a solution to my hunger problem. The forest holds an endless bounty of delicious mushrooms. And within these mushrooms lie chicken legs, also gold coins, and vials of sparkling water. I broke open a tree trunk earlier and a bag of money fell out. Sometimes I feel like I have gone insane. Plus, what is up with the moon? It's huge! I slew the beast of the forest, and I have felt the throne room weaken once more. So far, my assumptions have proven correct. Each wing of the castle houses its own guardian beast. Was this designed as a test of will? If so, then I cannot fail, for the further I venture, the more bold I become. Tomorrow I scour the tower. I am on a roll. I have been methodically clearing the demons in these rooms in my quest to slay the next guardian, but I am losing track of time, and other things. As I entered the tower, I felt time stand still, or perhaps that is the vertigo talking? I was never keen on heights, or was I? I am finding it increasingly difficult to remember my past. I remember being a famous adventurer. My martial prowess surpassed all of my brothers, that I am sure of. While they spent their days buried in their bookish studies, I was out killing brigands and monsters. I always wondered why my father favored them over me. Isn't it always the opposite in fairy tales? Fortune favors the bold, not the insipid intellectual, or something like that. Man, I would love to see my brothers try to outthink my sword in their face. What if years have passed since I first entered these walls? It is true that I am becoming more proficient in clearing monsters, but it feels like an age has passed. I have even forgotten what my own kin look like. What if they think I have failed? What if one of my brothers has beaten me to the cure? And what if I mistook them for a monster? I must be going insane. I've stumbled across the carnival inside this castle, complete with the sad clown and everything. He's sort of an ass, but I guess you can't be picky with your friends in a place like this. I'm getting hungry again. Good thing I topped up on chicken legs. I found these in a chandelier. This castle. Sometimes I wonder if it's all just a big joke. I have bested the beast of the tower, and once again I could feel the throne room giving up some of its power. The rush I feel from this victory is intoxicating. Never have I felt so confident, so powerful, so at home. Just a little further and I will be able to earn my reward. I'm so close. I will make my father proud. I have been standing outside the dungeon gate for longer than I care to admit. My courage has finally been sapped, for I have spied the monsters below, and they make my previous struggles laughable in comparison. I must steel myself. I must focus. There is so little light down there. I fear I may lose myself. I thought I knew what darkness was, but here in the dungeon, the darkness has a voice. It calls at me through the grates and around corners. It taunts me. The darkness is so thick it is almost tangible, and the beasts here have made it their home. They move swiftly through the corridors and are more terrifying than anything I fought before. I must be prudent and choose my battles carefully. Being confrontational now may cost me my life. I have done it! I have defeated the dungeon's master. All that remains is to enter the throne room. After this, the king will honor me for my valor and acknowledge me as rightful successor to the throne. Not my faceless siblings. I sit here making my final preparations. All that lays between me and the lord of this castle is the golden doors. There was a nervousness in my body that I cannot quell. Is this fear or fear-sightement? All I know is that my journey is finally reaching an end. I have almost forgotten why I entered this castle in the first place, but I remember now. I have bested my siblings. I will save the king and leave this castle a greater man than when I entered. My family will get the honor they so rightfully deserve. Now, I enter the throne room. I never knew what treasure lay in this castle. I only knew that it would cure the king. Who could have suspected it was the Fountain of Youth? I expected a monster to greet me at the dais, a foe of unimaginable strength. I imagined it would take all of my strength to best him. But when I entered the castle and saw my father, the king, sitting atop the dais with a goblet in hand, I knew all was lost. He would never die, and I would never be heir. There are no words to express what I feel. Today marks the rest of eternity. I never knew what treasure lay in this castle, just that it would cure the king of his illness. Who would have known it would have been the Fountain of Youth, a myth which grants one eternal life? As I look down on the body of the king, I realize that it is inevitable. Children will always answer for their father's sins. I entered this castle a swordsman, a savior. But all I have left is a rogue's legacy. I can feel your anger, but know it is not I who sent your family to ruin. The moment the king set foot within his castle, the royal coffers were emptied by Charon. My family, all families, had lost hope for a better life. And in my mind's eye, I foresaw only desperation and poverty ravage the country. There was nothing for me to go back to. And to my children and my children's children, here I sit, impassive, immortal, and await thee. Why do you wish to fight me? How many sons and daughters have been lost in your pathetic attempts at revenge? It was the king who brought ruin to your country, not I. He lied to us. He said he was wounded, yet it was only time that threatened him. He pitted his children against one another, sacrificed everything to satisfy his own selfish desires, and in the end, left us penniless and alone. So I took the only option left to me. I rejected king and country, and chose a new family instead. You think you have slain me? I have lived for over 1,000 years, and I will live for 10,000 more. Alexander, Kiter, Ponce de Leon. I was not the first hero to reach the fountain, but I will be the last. You have defeated me, but at what price? I may have slain the king, but only after he betrayed his people. Ask yourself what justice has been met. In the end, we are all guilty of the same sin. Look to your forefathers. Such is the cost of unquestioned loyalty. The sun... I had forgotten how it feels. Oh.
Hey guys, it's me, Ellie. Anyway, if you're here at the end of the video, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I work hard on these. And if you're new here and you like what you saw, please do leave a like and press that subscribe button. It's free to do those, and you can always undo them later. Comment what you'd like to see me do an Elli dub of next. I'm always open for suggestions, and I'm kind of running out of ideas as well. If you want to see more stuff from me right now, though, you can also check out my Minecraft end poem dub, as well as my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ElliVoices. If you want my opinion on Rogue Legacy, it's an awesome game. I'm really excited for Rogue Legacy 2, it's just released on Early Access as well. With all that being said, see you guys next time. Have a great day.